hush of dawn, where quiet flows, gentle tides of peace arise and grow, softly chanting, voices blend and sway, guiding hearts to a tranquil bay, whispers of the silent mind, echoes deep and undefined, subtle tones that calm and bind. In the stillness, truth we find.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending where you are in the world. My name's Veronica Jenkins, and I'm hosting this evening of Trance Mediumship with our wonderful medium, trance medium, Niko. Niko has already gone into trance, and I will bring him onto stage in just a few moments. And when he comes on, Noah will be speaking through him and giving a short talk before we move into questions. If you have questions about the spirit world and the mechanics of mediumship, or anything that you would like to know about the spirit and spiritualism, then now's your time to ask. Okay, so without further ado, let's bring Niko and his guides and inspirers Noah on screen. Good evening.
Greetings to you, my dear one. Once more, my dear, it is an honor and a privilege to be afforded this opportunity to be heard. And greetings to all who have joined, and to those who shall listen at a later time. Our honor and respect to each of you as well. And there is so much one has forgotten along the course of their physical journey. The focus is on the outer realm, the human identity. And for that, every experience is felt in depth, in truth, in layers. But the truth, my dear ones, is that each of you is an essence, and therefore your essence is part of the 7 layers of consciousness, my dear ones. Each layer is an aspect of your essence. And the journey is not only experiencing the physical incarnation, it is also experiencing the 7 layers of consciousness. Most times, you are already experiencing it. The mind brushes it aside as imagination, and yet it is still real. No essence experiences a physical journey and loses identity. It is merely obscured, but it is always there. This is why so many of you are intrigued. Notice how you rely on a vessel who accurately connects to essence as your guidance. Notice how you listen to words and something reverberates within, echoes within your mind's thoughts, within the days to follow. Nothing is random, my dear ones. It is accompanying you on your journey. So even as you pose your questions, ask yourself, is my question stemming from my human identity? Or is it my essence seeping through, offering me this insight to ask the question? Thus begins your return to your own remembrance and knowing. I thank you, my dear one.
Thank you. And yes, Jenny, it's Veronica. I'm Veronica. Jenny asks, I would love to know where my mediumship abilities are going, please. And she mentions that they started after she had a seizure.
My dear, unfortunately, what you are referring to is not an ability, my dear. It is not a power which is sharpened through practice. It is a part of your essence, my dear. In order to gauge how deeply you develop this innate connection to essence, it is a matter of recognizing how you are perceiving this connection. Many in your realm, my dear, perceive it as a distant connection, or waiting patiently for essence to draw near, to enter into your physical space, to impress images, messages into your human thought. This is inaccurate, my dear. And this is why so many struggle to maintain accuracy. No spirit, no essence, no energy, no impressions ever touch the human intellect, my dear. They reside within one of the layers of consciousness, my dear, the human consciousness. When one allows their awareness to shift into this consciousness, even as this vessel has done so this evening, all communication exists, my dear. And the more one learns, remembers, softens enough to sustain the entryway into this consciousness, my dear, without reverting to the human intellect, without resorting to the human identity's need for acceptance, my dear, then the one in physical form becomes a vessel for essence. This is where your journey is projecting you to go, my dear. Trust in it. It is not being constructed new. It is already occurring within that field of consciousness, my dear. Your task is merely to let go, to trust, to be the vessel. No more. Trust, my dear. There is a purpose why this is part of your journey. I thank you, my dear one.
Thank you. It looks as though we've got a problem with Facebook, but I've got a question for Michelle while I try and sort that out in the background. Good afternoon, Noah. I'm hoping that you can give me some information that I may need to know about the development of my intuition. I also remember seeing my first spirit when I was a very young girl.
My dear one.
And she also says, since my husband passed away 2.5 years ago, I'm seeing things so much clearer now.
My dear one, recognize the intuition you make mention of is not yours. Your question derives from the human intellect, the human perspective, the human identity's lens, my dear. And though coinciding with the human form is the analytical mind, my dear. The analytical mind does not possess the intuition. This equates to why so many in your realm have experienced along their journey regret for not abiding to what the intuition was speaking to them. And rather, they followed the analytical mind, which did not always create the pathway they wished would appear. Intuition, my dear, is direct guidance by your highest essence. It is not accidental, my dear. Once the physical form enters your reality, your highest essence implanted a portion into the mind which you perceive as awareness, my dear. This awareness is what allows you to drift into the consciousness, my dear. And this human consciousness we made mention of earlier is where the intuition resides, where emotions reside, memory, imagery, knowing. This is what you are connecting to, my dear. The advice you are seeking would be not to try to intellectualize with the analytical mind. This only creates distortion, my dear. And that distortion draws you away from consciousness back to your physical reality. Your experiences with the ones you have loved and whose physical incarnation has ceased also exists within this human consciousness, my dear. So it is not a coincidence that your intuition is becoming clearer after you've lost these loved ones. They are assisting you, my dear. You recognize their frequency. You sense their presence, for it is a familiar knowing. which accrued while they were still in physical form. This is how each essence assists another. It is not merely based on the physical journey, my dear. Agreements do not cease when one's physical journey comes to an end. Agreements essence to essence cease when both physical journeys come to an end. So they are still guiding you, leading you through the consciousness, my dear. Simply continue to sustain your awareness into consciousness. Trust it rather than analyze it. Do not attempt to rationalize what is occurring, for the human mind does not possess the ability to decipher consciousness, nor does it possess the ability to analyze awareness. Trust your intuition, my dear. Listen within, as you are always guided. And recognize it is not the construct of the human form, my dear. It is the human self who is connecting essence to essence. I thank you, my dear one.
Thank you. Michelle goes on to say, will what is happening to me get stronger as life goes on?
My dear, this is what we were referencing. Your analytical mind is asking a question where it is not familiar with the architecture of consciousness, my dear. The strength of the connection is not by the human mind. It entails the mind's surrender, my dear. If you do not seek clarification, proof, understanding analytically, and just trust that what is occurring is already quite powerful, my dear. Consciousness overrides the analytical mind. And this depth you are seeking, my dear, naturally, through trust and surrender, strengthens even further, my dear. It is not a matter of it being powerful, for it already is. It is your vulnerability, your humility, your trust, and your openness, which is required to allow your awareness to shift further into the layers of consciousness, my dear. So in short, my dear, it is not anything your physical identity must attain. It is actually the opposite, my dear. It is what your physical incarnation must release. The need to control, the need to assess, the need to analyze. I thank you, my dear one.
Thank you. We have Carla Ann Garrett saying she would love to hear from her child who was murdered.
My dear, you are already in contact with the essence you recall as your child. Notice, my dear, the visions you have received, the direct conversation within your dream state, the signs, the messages. Your instinct is guiding you to believe it is that essence reaching toward you, and your mind interferes as it brushes it away as imagination. So it is not, my dear. That essence is not approaching you. It is you are resisting that approach. You do not trust yourself, my dear. Hence why you are asking others to connect on your behalf. You are seeking validation that they are safe. Even, my dear, if their essence comes through this vessel to speak to you, ask yourself, my dear, will that validation be enough? Or will you continue to doubt, fear, grieve, view it as loss? Hey, Mama. Notice how you feel chills. You feel my love. You feel me near you now as you hear my words. But this isn't new. You've experienced these sensations already. They're just stronger now as you hear my words. I'm always with you. I've never left. But you have to believe that. Too many coincidences. Trust what you cannot see, but you can feel. You can't see love, but you feel love, and you trust it. This is no different, because it is love. Take the pain out of your heart. I could feel that pain. Allow love to replace it. It's what you need. I hear you. I even hear your thoughts. I'm closer than you realize. You feel me now. You'll always feel me near. I'll always love you. Notice, my dear, the calm within your heart. Notice even for a few moments a profound feeling of love was more powerful than the pain you have grown accustomed to, my dear. We are all connected through love. No essence is ever lost, my dear. The physical form may fall away, but essence never does. You're always connected essence to essence, my dear. Carry forward the love you sensed and allow that, my dear one, to be the validation you have been seeking. I thank you, my dear one.
Thank you. Andrea Reese asks, please may I ask for some guidance? Thank you.
My dear, you have come across a crossroad in your life, have you not, my dear? This is where your intuition is speaking loudly, and you have noticed. But you have also noticed, my dear, that guidance you are receiving is not aligning with what your mind is perceiving to be your path. This is why so many, so often, come upon this crossroad, my dear. One's physical life does not always translate to what the mind perceives it to be. Continue to follow the inner guidance, my dear. You do not require assistance from others, as you are receiving an abundance of guidance, and you are aware of that, my dear. Do not consume yourself with being accepted by those you hold dear and near. If they do not accept your choices, your belief, your desires, because it does not align with their way of thinking, my dear, do not allow this to dissuade you. Do not allow them to stop you in your tracks, if you will. Do not allow them to add confusion to the clarity you are receiving through the inner guidance. Follow the guidance, my dear. for this is your true path. Do not fear it, because it will bring change in your realm. Change is good, my dear. Change allows you to realign with the true alignment of your essence. Also, my dear, do not forget each relationship you have entered into within your physical incarnation did not originate in the physical reality, my dear. It is still an essence to essence connection through the physical vessels. So even the resistance they are offering you, your essence, ask them to do so. Trust in yourself, my dear. Remember your essence, my dear. And do not continue to seek approval or acceptance from the outer world, for this causes only confusion. I thank you, my dear one.
Thank you. KUEC is asking, can you connect with my best friend Sky Bryant? He was trying to help me get back into my daughter's life. With me and her mum are not on good terms.
My dear, you are still with physical form. So are all the relationships you are engaged with, my dear. There are many devices in your realm. Make contact. If this is what your heart, your intuition, and your guidance is leading you to, there should be no difficulty. But notice carefully, my dear one, is it the guidance you feel within? Is it your heart speaking to you? Is it your intuition? Or is it the analytical mind, the ego, the pride? You do not require assistance from anyone, either in physical form or essence, to make your decision for you. Your journey is for you to recognize the difference. What is it you are following? Is it the nudge of spirit guidance? Or is it the fractured ego which seeks redemption? If you are not experiencing purity in the guidance, my dear, then it is the ego, and you are going against the grain. For even silence within relationships are intended for growth. Even silence is part of an agreement, essence to essence. Do not seek the answer when the human mind is distracted. Do not seek the answer in the noise of your world. Do not seek the answer. And the pure answer will arrive in the stillness of the quiet. You will feel it as intuition. You will hear it in the silence. Your heart will expand. Sensations will appear on the physical form. And this is how you will be able to recognize which direction, which guidance, which truth you must follow. I thank you, my dear one.
Thank you. Maria, if you can, and the same for everybody else, if you can keep commenting and putting your questions, please, because I have to scroll backwards and forwards to find things. So it's much easier if you can just keep posting. Teresa Smith says, "Good evening. I am curious as the world prepares for Christmas on Earth. Do spirits still celebrate in their own way?"
My dear one, once the physical form comes to completion, my dear, the essence which is attached to that physical form returns to its true essence, my dear. Your celebrations, your identities, the roles you don are pertinent for one singular incarnation. There are many incarnations simultaneously, my dear. What you live through as experience in your realm belongs to that incarnation. The memory within the living. It does not continue on, my dear. Celebrations, grief, despair, loneliness, confusion, pain. These are all creations of the incarnation's experience. Love, compassion, honesty, grace, patience, generosity. These are all traits of your essence, my dear. One does not recall specific events. One does not recall celebrations. And one never recalls pain. These are all components of an incarnation. Once the physical form ceases to exist, so too do all these components, my dear. Attempt to view it, to view your incarnation, to view your existence through the lens of your higher essence, my dear. And all that we provide will be returned to you as clarity. For your essence also possesses the exact same insight that we are offering, my dear. One does not have to wait until the physical journey comes to an end to remember. but you're always connected to essence. It is merely the act of trusting, silencing the mind, and attempting to reconnect to your own essence, my dear. I thank you, my dear one.
Thank you. Dom was asking about the response that you gave to K-Weezy, as he was intrigued about how staying silent can actually help in a situation, as he's asking for that advice himself, if that makes sense.
Notice, my dear, as one is navigating through the physical experience, the analytical mind is quite active. There is dialogue around you, thought processes, worries, concerns, in order to live, to inhabit your reality. Focus is misplaced. It is on acceptance within relationships. It is on status, on finances. The mind is continuously assessing, planning, creating. Therefore, there is noise within the mind, chatter, movement. The mind's activity remains at a high level. The brain hurts, peaked. At this state, it is impossible to connect to essence. For at this state, it is impossible for one to remember their essence. They are preoccupied with what they see in their realm. They are judging themselves to another, comparing. They are seeking status, acceptance, accolades, achievements. For this is the teaching of your realm, the conditioning of the mind. And yet when one truly feels peace, it is as the brain activity is decreasing in order for the mind to rest and enter the sleep state. The same holds true, connecting to essence. The mind must relax. The intuitive mind becomes enhanced. The subconscious mind welcomes the receptiveness. This is where all communication begins. It is the passageway where awareness enters consciousness, and the noisy, busy, analytical mind is at rest. Throughout your physical journey, there have been many moments during the awakened state where the conscious mind rested momentarily, where you receive visions, insight, feeling, knowing, intuition. The conscious mind does not prevent these occurrences from happening, but it becomes too overwhelmed too busy, too analytical for what is occurring subtly to be noticed. Which is why intentional effort to sit in silence, to learn to slow the conscious mind, and not only resort to the sleep state to achieve the connection, is vital for each one's physical journey. But that is how they consciously project connection to essence during the waking state. After time, it becomes second nature. And the more one commits and dedicates time to sit in silence, the more one remembers their essence, the more one effortlessly allows the awareness to shift into the human consciousness, and the more all communication, essence to essence, is effortless. For it does not arrive, it already exists. You are allowing the conscious mind to settle, so your intuitive mind connects. I thank you, my dear one.
Thank you. And Nessie is said she would be really love a reading, please.
My dear, perhaps you are referring to a different modality, my dear. The terminology of reading is what one offers to the vessel who is bringing forth evidence and proof of continued life, essence, when a loved one perishes from the physical realm. We do not offer proof, my dear. We offer insight, guidance. We are offering you the same knowledge, wisdom, remembrance you possess as an essence. So my question to you, my dear, is rather than utilizing your device, rather than seeking other physical forms who already have established connection to essence, why are you not attempting to connect yourself? For you are essence, my dear, experiencing the human experience. You are not a human, my dear. Therefore, you possess the ability to connect yourself, to receive your own reading, my dear, anytime you wish. This is how one receives clarity, how insight to the true purpose within the human incarnation is revealed. So attempt yourself, my dear, and you will be quite surprised of the results you receive, most notably through your own intuition. I thank you, my dear one.
Thank you so much. Unfortunately, it's come to that time to pass over to you for your last comments to us. And thank you very much.
Indeed, my dear. For all those who have been listening, I ask you to pause for one moment and focus on your hearts. Throughout this transmission, each of you have experienced a sensation within the heart, warmth, expansion. You are sensing it now. The analytical mind cannot create this sensation. Allow this to be the only proof you seek. This is how each of you are eternally connected, essence to essence. Continue to feel the presence near. Continue to feel the heart lift within. Love. Trust that which the mind cannot analyze. For there lies the truth of who you are. We are grateful and honored to have been able to offer you guidance at this time. I thank you, my dear one.
Thank you so much for this evening, Noah. While Niko returns to us from his trance, just to fill you in with what's happening tomorrow, at 10 o'clock we've got Amanda, 3:30 we've got Sheila, and we've then got, oh no, Lynn can't do tomorrow, so it's healing at 6 o'clock. And those of you who are professional mediums yourself, if you want to join me on my new school group, which is the SKOOL group, platform, then please just search for Find Me a Medium and my group will come up and you'll find the professional mediums group on there. Contact me to ensure that I let you join that classroom. If you're just generally looking for more information about spiritualism and awakening, my book is free on Amazon in terms of the Kindle version currently. Tomorrow's the last day and then it goes back to being £4.99. So if you want a copy of that, you need to grab it quick, okay? Because it's free at the moment. Anything else? Niko is back on Tuesday, actually giving evidential mediumship on Tuesday at 9 o'clock UK time. And when I mentioned about the events tomorrow, the timings were UK time for those of you who are not UK. Hi, Niko.
Hi, guys.
You okay?
Yeah, that was pretty powerful.
Thank you so much. Okay, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks ever so much for joining us here this evening. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you at 10 o'clock in the morning with readings with Amanda. Thanks ever so much, then. Bye.